All right. Hello, everyone. It is so great to know that you're on the other end. Thank you so much for joining. Today, we're going to talk about how to do our home pages in Canvas. And so, our title today is called Introducing Canvas, Enhancing Teaching and Learning. My name is Darnita Woodhouse. I'm your friendly neighborhood ITRT, and I am here to help you with any of your technology needs in regards to the programs that Norfolk Public Schools has for our teachers. So, welcome aboard, and it is great to have you here. All right. I feel like I just talked fast just a second ago. So I'm going to slow down. Thank you so much just for looking at this video. And remember that I give you professional development points every time you look at one of these training videos that I create. And we need a total of at least 12 by the end of the school year. So this is a great way just to get all of your points all in a row, especially for recertification. All right, one last thing too. So I usually give a Google form that you can sign in on that Google form to get your professional development points. Within the video, I usually give a secret word. It could be at the beginning of the video, in the middle of the video, or at the very end. This lets me know that you actually watch this video. Now, this video is going to be real important for us, and that's simply because of the fact that we have to get the ball rolling with Canvas and Mastery Connect. So this session right here is going to talk about how to build our home page. Some of you are proactive and you're already doing it, but that is okay for those of you who have not started yet. So I've already given you some videos or instructional YouTube videos. I sent those out, but then I'm also going to send out my video to you too. And then when you need to email me, then we can go ahead and discuss certain things. If you need to email me, or definitely just pull me to the side. I'm trying to get to each and every one of you just to see how you're doing, because I'm here to help. And next week, I'm going to try to have some Zoom sessions so that we can go ahead and I have that virtual one-on-one or a group discussion about Canvas and Mastery Connect. So I'm going to send you that information out as well. But again, I just want to say thank you just for being so flexible, because you guys absolutely are. Now, before we get started with Canvas, I just want to give a huge shout out to some of our teachers. And so this time around, I picked teachers that were really doing some things that caught my eye, and that where the students were actually engaged. I was absolutely engaged. I was even pulled into some of those lessons that the students were having. So that allowed me to also interact with the students and to gain a little bit of knowledge too. And these phenomenal teachers, they really blew my mind. So let's talk a little bit about Ms. Divine Smith. Ms. Divine Smith grabbed the students' attention with a little icebreaker. And the icebreaker was, if you had a choice, would you be this or that, and why? So instead of saying, hey, children, one at a time, who are you? Tell me your name. No, she did something totally different. I think one of the questions that she asked the student was, would you A, be a bird or be an airplane? Which one would you choose and why? And so the student had a chance to choose between the two, that they had a small narrow choice, which allowed them to feel more comfortable, because sometimes you don't know exactly what to talk about as far as you are concerned. When somebody says, hey, tell me about yourself, but this allowed the students to tell her a little bit about them in the process of showing her how they think, how they interact, how they, when there's something that's thrown in front of them, that they're able to think right then and there, and think rationally about why they decide to do certain things. And so this particular student said, well, I would rather be a bird. And she asked, well, what kind of bird would you like to be? And so the student began to think. You can see the wheels turning. Great job, Ms. Divine Smith. Then we have here Miss B. Jones, Miss Brandy Jones, absolutely an awesome teacher. If you ever decide to go into her classroom, her students are always engaged. And with her, I walked in and she was teaching her rules and regulations, but she was also teaching PBIS, how to treat one another in the school. And she gave them certain words on the board like responsibility, respect, jealousy, bullying. And so they were playing charades. Charades was incredible, like blew my mind. So when I walked in, she used me as an example. And so she said, everybody pay attention to what I'm going to do, and then you pick one of these little vocabulary words on the board and let me know which one you chose to represent what I'm doing and why. So then Miss Jones looks at me like this, and then she says to me, she says, Darnita, well, no, she said Woodhouse. She says, Woodhouse, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that I egged your car and toilet papered it. And I just want to say I apologize to you and please forgive me. And so the kids all raised their hand. And I'm looking around in my mind, I'm like, what? You egged my car. You toilet papered my car. So one kid said, you're demonstrating responsibility, Miss Jones. And she goes, yes, that's absolutely correct. Another one was like, hey, you're showing respect. And the other person said, yes, that is absolutely, I mean, so she said, yes, that's absolutely correct. I'm showing respect to Miss Woodhouse. And so I raised my hand and I said, as I pointed to one of the words up there on the board, I said, it is all pure jealousy. She said, what? I said, yeah, you were jealous of my car, and so you toilet papered it and you egged it. That's why. And now you're feeling guilty. Well, I had a great time in that class, so I have to give a shout out to Miss Jones. Then we had two phenomenal math teachers on the sixth floor. I mean, on the sixth grade hall. So I guess I was doing that, going from each person to the next. But these two math teachers, they are a team, and you can clearly tell that their lesson plans align. The first person I went to go see was Ms. Molly Swarm. Now I have my composition notebook, and I'm going in there, and she says, "Wait, class." This is a great example of what we're learning today about data collection and sampling. And the kids were like, huh? She says, yes. Ms. Woodhouse is going around and she's getting a population or a global sampling. I'm trying to get it right of everybody's technology and if everything is working well within the building. And so she says, so she's sampling, she's going around and getting her data and she's collecting it. And the students are like, oh, and then she gave me an opportunity to say to the students, yes, in my notebook, I'm writing down who has issues, who does not, and that I have been walking around for the past couple of days to make sure that the teachers have everything that they need. So I collect data on that too, so that when I have to address an issue, then I can clearly see what is going on. And so those kids were like, wow, they were all into it. And Miss Molly Sworn, I was into it too. And then the same thing when I went to Miss Forsley's class, I walked in, they were talking about sampling too. And she really had the students engaged. They were working on a project at their desk, but she was talking about data collection and sampling. What a great way to work together as a team. Math department for the sixth grade, I really applaud you, Ms. Molly Swarn and Ms. Forsley. Excellent job because you guys must have talked to each other and must have collaborated. Great job. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about the health and PE department. And you see them there. And I don't have all the pictures, but I have a couple. So, Miss Erin Meeks, she's been in there in the PE department. So I have to give her a shout out. I didn't grab her picture, but I'm giving you a shout out with this too. And just the PE department as well. And Mr. Lanier, he's the new department chair for PE and health. And they all had it going on as a team. And I know you're like, well, how did they do that? All right. And I'm gonna show you how. Okay, and by the way, if you're looking at one of these pictures, see how I took a picture of Ms. Earl, but then I put her back in the picture as well. All right, so I kind of did a little manipulation. But let me tell you what went on with this team, because I don't think anybody would believe me unless I showed it to them. So this is my recollection of what was happening at the time, because I didn't even have my phone with me to take pictures. Here we go. All right. Now, Mr. Lanier said to the students, gather around. We're all going to sit in a circle. And guess what the kids did? They all sat in a circle. Now, if you know anything about the PE department, each teacher has about 50 kids, and that's just the minimum. Sometimes they have a little more than 50 kids a piece. So a lot of us, we don't even have that. We have half of that. So, I'm showing gratitude right now to them because they've got it going on. So the students were quiet. They all went and they circled around Mr. Lanier and just did exactly what he said. But here's the kicker. This is how teamwork was working that day. And if you notice that there is a compass on one side because they were doing the game with this particular compass, but I'm going to tell you something else about this compass. So each teacher was stationed at certain points around the circle. So as you can see, a representation right here of Ms. Kennan, you have a representation of Ms. Meeks, and you definitely have one of Ms. Earl. They were circled around, so they were at the four corners, north, south, east, west. Okay, you see that one person is kind of missing for one of those stations, but don't worry about it because me and then I had Miss Heidelberg. We were both sitting together and we were both in awe. So we were at the other corner, just in awe. She was waiting for her military kids, our students, to pop up. By the way, great job, Miss Heidelberg, for going around and being proactive with your students. And then I was just coming in to make sure technology was going well. I was so in awe because the kids immediately sat down. The kids were all engaged. And you know what? They were listening so well. Like I was listening with them. Like they had like down pat, kind of like military. Military. Right? Down pat. And so he was telling them all everything they needed to know. He turned around in the circle to make sure that he was talking to everybody. But everyone had like a teacher right there in that department ready to go. They were all on point. They all had the same ideas and they all worked together as a team of one accord. PE department, phenomenal. And I wish I had taken a picture that day. So I'm gonna try and keep my phone on me next time around so I don't have to like create one in Canva. And by the way, I'm gonna teach you Canva later on. All right, so that's my shout out for today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Canvas. And Canvas, we've been trying to put all these things together. The district wants things together right away. And I just want to say and give you all a shout out as well, each and every one of you, because you all have been flexible with scheduling. You've been flexible with Synergy, and you are still flexible with Canvas and Mastery Connect. So we know that Synergy, once the students have their schedule, then they populate in Synergy. Synergy, it takes about 24 hours to transfer those students over to Canvas. Then it takes about another 24 hours so they can populate into Mastery Connect. So right now we're going to talk a little bit about Canvas and trying to get that up and running. All right. So those of you who have been here and worked in Canvas, hang tight a little bit. I'm just going to talk about this, especially for my new people. But Canvas is our learning platform. So when you're in college now, each college teacher has something that is called a Blackboard. So if you go to Norfolk State, you go to ODU, you go to Regent, you go to Virginia Wesleyan, which is now, the name is changing. I think to Barrett. But If you go to any of these different colleges, they now have something that's called Blackboard, and it's just like Canvas. This is where the teacher will ask you a discussion question, and you can put that information or your answer into a little box there, and then you can hit submit, and your teacher will get that. It's the same thing as with Google Classroom, which is going away because we are fully invested into Canvas, and especially now that we have Mastery Connect connecting to it. Mastery Connect is our upgraded version of kind of like SchoolNet, only it connects right into Canvas, which allows us to see data right then and there without hopping from one program to the next to try and figure out where our data is for our students. But Canvas, it also is user friendly. And so just because it has several bells and whistles to it, and the fact that you've been using Google Classroom, you're going to really enjoy Canvas when you fully start working in it. So come on, let's talk a little bit about the benefits for both teachers and students. All right, so glad you're still with me. So the benefits of Canvas for teachers, it's where we get to organize everything. So say for instance, it's kind of like a 5 subject notebook. So when you have a 5 subject notebook, you have different sections, okay? Within the different sections, you could put your homework, you could put notes, you could put classwork, all sorts of things. Well, Canvas is kind of the same way, only it allows you to communicate back and forth between the student and you. They can email you right through Canvas. So you can have that dialogue back and forth. And of course, you can have discussions with them as well. You can give them announcements too. And it is definitely used as an assessment tool. You can build quizzes in here. You can put tests in here. And especially now that we have Mastery Connect, now you can actually see all of the grades and the scores come in real time. You don't have to go anyplace else. You can see it in real time, and then you can compare the scores. Are the students getting it? Or if I have to reteach something or differentiate lessons or give individualized instructions. So that's what this is all about, and it is going to really help us. So we are accredited now, but imagine the possibilities as we go throughout the year. So, just like it benefits us as educators, it also benefits the students too. They have easy access to all of their courses, they're right there. You can go paperless, really, because it integrates what you put into your Google Drive. Any work that you have, any assignments that you build inside of Google, then you can go ahead and connect it here. And the students don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to pay for all that paper. It is right here. But you have different interactive features as well. So they're using all of their way of learning or their ways of learning. For example, they're visual learners. There are kinesthetic learners, which they have to use their hands. There are auditory as well. So they get all these benefits. And the reason why I say auditory is because you can put videos in here. You can record yourself talking to them and giving them instruction, and they can pull that without going to different places trying to figure out what's going on, especially when they are at home. So imagine when the students are at home and the parents don't understand anything about your subject area, you can have a video talking to them and just letting them know exactly what they need to do. So it's very interactive, and the students are able to get ready real time feedback from you. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you from here all the way over to Canvas. Today we're going to publish our courses. I'm going to show you how to do that for some of you who are still having issues with it. And then I'm going to show you how to create a home page within Canvas. And we're going to do something generic for the home page. Okay, I'm not going to put all the bells and whistles out there because we really just need to get it up and running so that we can connect our Mastery Connect if you haven't done so already. So remember, we have a time limit on when our Canvas pages are due for our building. And next week, people and their classes and or their departments and downtown departments, they're starting to do their district tests, their pre-assessments for the students. So that's already embedded in Mastery Connect. So we're trying to put all of this together at once. So with that said, this video is going out. And by the way, our secret word is we've got this going on. I say, so those words. Yep, we've got this going on. So words, secret words. We've got this going on. So put all that in there so you can give this professional development these points for this lesson, okay? And so here we have, so we're having this video go out, but next week I'm going to also do some Zoom professional development sessions. So when you have a moment and you have free time and you're planning, all of this is optional, but come see me. I'll put out a link, tell you what times I'll be on the Zoom, and you can come and ask me different questions, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. So now, without further ado, let's go ahead and publish that Canvas course. All right? All right. All right, here we are in our Canvas dashboard. It looks like a car dashboard here. If you're going to try and find this in our global navigation system. So this is our global navigation panel, and here's our dashboard, and this is where we are. Some of you are going to find published courses here. Normally throughout the year, they disappear, and we happen to have all of those archived. However, there's a glitch somewhere in the system for this year. Well, that is all right. So I'm going to show you how to kind of push those courses down and then pull up the course that you really want. So here we have our published courses, and you notice I have 13 here. If you scroll down, you'll notice where it says unpublished courses. I happen to have 2. So a lot of your 2025, 2026 courses will be here below where it says unpublished courses. Here is the class that we're going to publish. So this is called a course card for those of you who are brand new. And our course card is called, or our class, We've Got This Going On. Notice that I used our secret word. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is publish this. So we're going to hit publish. When we hit publish, this is going to come up. It's going to say choose course home page. And notice that it has course modules here, and that down below the choose and publish icon that is supposed to be lit up is not. So all we have to do is pick any one of these where it says assignment list or syllabus. We're going to click into one of those little bubbles, and now our choose and publish is here for us to hit and select. So we're going to select that, and now we have our We've Got This Going On above the unpublished line of courses. So now it's in the courses category. So now we want to take this 2025-2026 course and move it up to the top above all of these courses that we had last year. So here are the 3 dots, and I love 3 dots because that lets you know that there's always more. So we're going to hit the 3 dots. You'll notice that we have a little pop-up panel that comes up. One tab says color, so you can change the color easily, and the other tab says move. We're going to hit move, and we're just going to move it up to the top. So now when we scroll all the way up to the top, here's our class. I'm going to select this class by clicking on the name. And now we are here in our actual course, but we don't have a home page set up. So what we're going to do next is set up our home page. Now, beside our global navigation pane or ribbon, which is in the blue, we have another panel right next to it. This panel happens to have where it says home, announcements, assignments, discussions. We're going to go all the way down to where it says pages. So go ahead and click on pages. This will take you to this clear page right here because nothing has been set up. So right now we're getting ready to set up our home page. So we're going to take our mouse and we're going to go all the way over here. And it's over here to my right. So hopefully it's showing up on your right as well. It says or has an icon that has a plus with the name page. We're going to go ahead and hit that. This will open up our platform where we can actually type and create our home page. So we always have to have a title, and I love to always say welcome. So that's what I'm putting here. Welcome. It is right here. Or you can say welcome to my class. Totally up to you what you want to put here. But this will allow us to create our home page a little bit later on for one of our steps. When you look below, this looks totally like Microsoft Word, or it looks like Microsoft Outlook when we're doing our emails. And so this is very simple to navigate. You notice it has edit, view, insert, format, tools, table. You also have your font size, your paragraph. You go all the way over here. You can link, hyperlink things within here. You can also add your picture, music, YouTube videos, other different symbols. And as we're going along, you'll notice that this yield sign looks a lot like the Google Drive sign, which it is. So anything that you saved in your Google Drive, you can certainly add it here to where we're going to do a little bit of creating. Woo, I got tongue-tied. All right, so let's go ahead and create. So there are a couple of things that you can do. The first thing you can do, and that's if you want to, welcome to Miss Woodhouse's class. Oops, class. Okay, now I want to make this a little bigger. This is going to be the first sign that they see. So I'm going to go and I'm going to hit my font, and I'm going to change this to size 36 font. So we're here. I want to put this in the middle. So I'm coming on over and I'm going to center this. I can also bold this, and I can even underline this. All right. Make it look kind of classy. So this is what it looks like. What I'm going to do is now hit enter and go below that line. If you notice, there's a little kind of caret or an arrow right on top of the B. So I know that this new line is still bold. I'm going to click on that. Notice that there is one under the underline, so I want to take that off too. And I'm going to change my font size to maybe like 14, or just right here. Now, what if you want to add a picture instead? So here, where you have the hyperlink, you can go ahead and certainly find a picture. You're going to click on that caret. You're going to see where it says upload image. You're going to click on that. And then where it says upload image, it says drag and drop or click to browse. We're just going to click on that rocket. And since we're rockets anyway, this will allow us to remember what to do next. So say, for instance, I just want to put a regular picture in that I've saved. I'm going to click on that picture. I'm going to open it up. Here's my picture. Yes, this is what I want. And I'm just going to simply hit submit. Notice that this lit up, lets me know that it is now here in my options for typing. Now, I clicked on the picture because I want this a little bigger. Okay, and we're still kind of like in the middle of the page. So I have this here, I have a picture here, and I'm putting this out here or putting this up here so that you're able to see how to actually attach a picture. So remember, to attach a picture is right by the link. Here's the picture. You just click it, click upload image, click on the rocket, and now you can upload an image. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. I'm going to close that out. So that's our image. So then I'm going to hit enter to get below that picture. And we always like this to be aesthetically pleasing. So let's go ahead and since this is the first a bit of information that our students are going to see when they enter in our Canvas course, we want to have a message. So let's put a message out there. I'm going to change the font to size 18. We're still in the middle. You can always change this to go back to the left if you like. And you can add, well, I still have caps. I hit that too fast. That is all right because I hit it too fast. That's okay. We can always go back and put that picture in. So please remember where the picture is. However, I'm going to put welcome to, Miss Woodhouse's class. I am so excited to have you as my student for this school year. All right, so now there's my message to my students. I can center it. Remember, you can center it, so I'm highlighting, just showing you that again, so I can go ahead and center that. And now, let's put a picture in again. So I'm glad that I kind of got rid of that picture. So let's go ahead and hit that again. We're going to upload. You can put a picture of yourself here. And I'm going to put a picture here. This is my baby picture. I'm going to put this picture right here. I'm going to hit that, hit open. There's my picture. Oh, yeah, back in the day. So now it's fully in there. I can click on that picture, kind of size that, or make it a certain size or a smaller size than what I have here. And I'm going to make that bigger. Size, let's do 18. All right, I'm so excited to have you in my class. So you can actually add your picture. Okay. Now, if you wanted to link your picture to or hyperlink it, then you're going to click on your picture, go to the link, you're going to hit external link, and then whatever link you want to put in here, like if you've already set up your own profile page online, you can link that. Say, for instance, this picture was just a symbol of the word Zoom, and you wanted to add your Zoom link so they can see you virtually. You can do that too. So simply put your link in. We're going to pretend like this is a link, Zoom link, whatever, so that the students can click on it, and then just hit done. This will turn yellow. And while I'm on the picture still, you'll notice that now I can remove this picture. I have link options or image options as well. So now that I want to go underneath it, you can add your email address if you like, but your students can also pretty much email you right through this system. So that's why Canvas is just so awesome. It's just a one-stop shop for really talking to your people and just engaging with your children. And so they can actually email you. Then I'm going to put that there. And I might want to put a phone number. If you put a phone number, please put Azalea's phone number, okay? Don't put your phone number, or you'll have parents who look over the kids' shoulders, or the kids like really stalking you. And although you're popular, you don't want them stalking you. Look at that. That's a popular picture right there. All right. So now I have everything that I want. Now I want to finish up. So all I have to do is just scroll down. And if you hit save, that's already highlighted in blue, that just means that this is still a draft. I want to save and publish, so I'm going to hit save and publish. When you hit save and publish, that means now that the students can see it. And this is kind of what they're going to see, but we're still in Pages. If you notice that over on the side, you have that little line that lets me know that I'm still in Pages. But right here, it is published. And that means the students can see it when they log in. If I want to unpublish it, then I simply click it, and now it's unpublished. Notice that little pill. I hit it again. Now it's all green. So we have 2 more steps to do to make this our home page. We're going to come over from publish to assign to edit. We're going to hit those 3 dots. 3 dots. Yeah, 3 dots. When we hit the 3 dots, just going to move down. You see where it says use as front page. We're going to hit that. Now notice that it is going to be our front page. Okay, so this is our very last step. So now that we have it as our front page, we're going to go all the way over back to our other navigation panel, and we're going to select where it says home. Once we select where it says home, you would imagine that what we just built would be here, but it is not. We have one more thing to do. So we're going to come over to the right where you see our course status is published. We're going to come down and we're going to choose our home page. When you click on choose home page, you'll notice that there is a selection that says welcome. So you can clearly see where your title is. So if you wanted to make your title like welcome to my class, then it will say welcome to my class. We're going to choose this, hit save. All right, so now this becomes our home page. It is published and the students can see all of your information. So great job, everyone. All right, so I know that was a lot, a lot to go through, and that is all right. We're being flexible. So I'm giving you all this information now. So like over the weekend, you want to get this done because it really needs to be done by the time we get back. Then you have this video tutorial, and I've given you all the other tutorials that you need as well. This is going to help you be proactive and get everything done. So let me know if you need any help. Reach out to your buddies next to you because they know what they're doing too, and then just work together as a team. And hopefully I showed you that in our shout out that a lot of us are now we're working together as a team. That's what makes Azalea so great. I'm giving that to you all for real. That's why I love being here. I wouldn't trade this school for anything in the world, unless it was not my decision. Because my decision is definitely to be here where great things happen and we are a family. So don't forget, go right into this video. Go ahead and find that secret word that I dropped in the middle of this video or the secret words. And then go ahead and sign in with that Google sign in sheet, okay? And then drop that information right in as in what I said. All right, so let me tell you once again, next week I'm going to be doing some some Zoom trainings with you, and I'm gonna send out that link. It is optional to come into those trainings. You do get professional development points when you do. I'm all about giving you everything that you need and your resources, and then I'll come to you individually to check up on you, okay? Well, with that said, this is Woodhouse. I love you all dearly, and I just want to say toodles. Thank you for being so flexible. Thank you for being so wonderful and just being who you are. And I just want to say, go Rockets! All right, yeah, that was cheesy, but anyway, it was good to have fun. All right, love you all dearly. Take